Long ago, in the land of Egypt, the Israelites endured heavy oppression. They were forced into laborious tasks by the Egyptian Pharaoh, living in hardship and oppression. However, in this challenging time, the miracles of God began to shine forth. God chose a humble man named Moses. Moses had a unique upbringing, raised by the Egyptian Pharaoh, yet always harboring concern for his own people. One day, witnessing the cruel treatment of an Israelite, Moses, in a fit of anger, struck down the oppressor. Due to this action, Moses was compelled to flee Egypt and arrived in Midian. There he married a shepherdess and tended to sheep in the wilderness. One day, while tending his flock in the grassy plains, he witnessed a burning bush that, despite the flames, remained unconsumed. This was a miraculous sign from God, and Moses was called to be God's messenger, returning to Egypt to rescue his people. Moses confronted Pharaoh, urging him to release the Israelites. However, Pharaoh's heart remained as hard as stone, refusing to yield. Consequently, God unleashed a series of plagues upon Egypt. Water into blood, Blood Sea. Moses stretched out his staff over the Nile River, turning its waters into blood. Fish died and the river became polluted, rendering it undrinkable for the Egyptians. Frogs. Moses declared the arrival of a massive swarm of frogs in Egypt. These frogs invaded houses, beds, and even the bedroom of Pharaoh, causing great distress. Gnats, lice. God turned the dust of the land into swarms of gnats or lice, which infested both humans and animals, spreading throughout the entire land of Egypt. Swarm of flies. A multitude of flies descended upon Egypt, causing not only annoyance to the people, but also leading to the death of livestock. Diseases on livestock. God inflicted severe diseases on the livestock of Egypt, causing illness and death among their animals. Hail. Enormous hailstones, accompanied by thunder and lightning, struck Egypt, destroying crops and vegetation in the fields. Locusts. Swarms of locusts invaded Egypt, devouring the remaining crops and greenery. Darkness. God shrouded Egypt in thick darkness for 3 days, during which people could not see one another. Death of the firstborn. God warned Pharaoh that if he did not release the Israelites, the firstborn in every Egyptian household would perish. On that fateful night, God passed through Egypt, claiming the lives of all the firstborn, including Pharaoh's son. On the night of the 10th plague, when death swept through every Egyptian household, Pharaoh finally relented. The Israelites in their homes slaughtered an unblemished lamb and applied its blood to the doorposts to shield against the impending deadly disaster brought forth by God. This night became known as the Passover, and the Israelites were spared from the calamity.